Hello there, everybody. Welcome back into this lecture. Now, in this lecture, we're going to dive deep into the extensions that you must have. These are ChatGPT extensions that you must have, and I'm repeating myself. So, if you want to find these extensions, well, first one you got to start with is APRM, ChatGPT. All right. So, this extension actually, let me explain to you why is it necessary. But first off, if you want to find the link to it, you'll actually find the link to it in the resources of this course lecture right here. So don't look too much. I'll leave the link in the resources. You can go ahead and download it. Now, once you download that extension, if you click on the extensions, actually here I have two. I have APRM for ChatGPT and APRM Premium. Let me explain to you the difference between both. But the one thing I want to start with and tell you is that you can just use APRM for ChatGPT. Now, I'm using APRM Premium for ChatGPT for one reason, which is that it actually allows me to change the writing style. So I think over here about 20 writing styles and 20, I should say, tones that I can write with. For example, writing styles that we have here: academic, analytical, argumentative, conversational, creative, critical, descriptive, persuasive, metaphorical. And here for the tones, we have optimistic tones, pessimistic, ironic, humorous, friendly, formal, empathetic, cynical, confident, etc. Now, if you're using the free version of the APRM extension, which is what I would recommend you to use, okay? You don't really need to use what I'm using. Now, I'm a professional digital marketer, entrepreneur. Unless you want to go there and you become a professional entrepreneur online, then it's not really necessary for you to invest in so many of these tools. Because if I just count how much I'm investing in tools every month, I could easily be spending like a $600 a month on memberships on most of the softwares that I'm using for all my ventures that I have online. And so unless you want to, take it seriously, unless you're making money. So for me, I'm spending 600, but I'm making approximately 20 times more than what I'm spending. So it's worth it. But in your case, if you're still just starting out, you want to make money, then it's absolutely not necessary for you to use all these extensions, especially the premium ones. You can just use the free APRM extension. And when you actually use it, here's what it will do for your ChatGPT tab. It will actually change your ChatGPT and make it look like this. Because when you log into ChatGPT at the beginning, it doesn't look entirely like this. It looks bland, right? You can't see this. Okay, I wish I could have just removed the extension to kind of show you, but I don't want to remove it now because I'm paying for the premium and I don't want any issues with my account. So I'm not going to deactivate the extension for now. But for you, if you're logging into ChatGPT for the first time, you won't be able to see what I'm seeing here. You will be able to see the box where you can enter messages, but you won't be able to see this. Now, the APRM extension allows you access to, now that we're talking, and just in the previous course I created, there was less prompts, but it allows you access to 3,583 prompts that you can use to do magic stuff. For example, let's say someone hired you to write a unique SEO optimized article, which we'll get to later because that's also another thing I'm going to teach you how to make money from. But let's just say someone hired you to write a blog post for them. Now, there is a prompt for that, and we're looking at it right here. So if I were to click on this prompt right here, I will be able to create a blog post about whatever I want. Let's just say, for example, that the person who hired you asked you to write a blog post about the top 10 best heavyweight boxers of all time. And I'm a boxer. That's why you can see I'm writing this. So just write it and enter. Now, once you do that, now notice that I'm using model number GPT-4. So it will be slower than GPT 3.5. You can see over here that it's quite slow. So it's writing it in a very, very slow manner. On the other hand, I'm going to go at the same time and open up a new ChatGPT tab just to kind of show you how fast GPT 3.5 is. So if I were to go and look for ChatGPT right here, openai.com, this is the website. And if I were to click on try ChatGPT, now I'm going to be using GPT 3.5 and the same prompt that is actually currently generating content for me in the other tab. And you can see over here, it's kind of still going, right? So it's still going. So it started off by saying Tyson Fury, then George Foreman, and so on and so forth. Now here, I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to make sure I'm ticking the box of GPT 3.5. And then I'm going to go and click on human written 100% unique SEO optimized article. So I'm going to click over here and I'm going to say top 10 best heavyweight boxers of all time. And now that I'm using GPT 3.5, notice the difference in speed. Just notice. Now I'm going to shut up for a moment and just let you see. You can see the speed. It's quite fast, right? It's really, really fast, much faster. It kind of finished now. And GPT-4 is still ongoing. Now over here, GPT-4 stopped at Joe Frazier, which means I'm going to have to click this box. You see the box continue generating. I'm going to have to click it to prompt ChatGPT to continue generating the content from where it left off. Now notice the difference in the quality of the blog posts written by GPT-4 and GPT 3.5. I could say that GPT 3.5 generates a, let's just say, good blog post, but GPT-4 actually generates a blog post that is coded with headlines. So you can just copy paste this blog post as is. You don't have to do anything to the blog post. You don't even have to add headings because the headings are added for you. You can just simply copy, paste it, and even it generates an FAQ for you. So you can just see over here that even the FAQ, it takes care of it. And even the content itself is way better, way better. Just read, for example, here, the introduction. Who doesn't love a good boxing match, right? The thrill, the suspense, and the sheer display of strength and strategy make it one of the most fascinating sports to watch. But have you ever wondered who is the best of the best? And so here, if I go back, notice the difference. The ranking of the top 10 best heavyweight boxers of all time is subjective and can vary depending on personal opinions. It's good, but it's not equally good to ChatGPT 4. Now, you have to also know something about ChatGPT if you're using it for the first time. If you're not using it for the first time, then you're a seasoned, I would say seasoned person, so you don't need much. But if, let's say, you want to change the title of the blog post, you can just go back to the prompt that you initially prompted ChatGPT with, and there is a box, or there's an icon here that says edit. You can click edit. And once you click on that, here's what we're going to be able to do for you. You can say, for example, not top 5, top 10. You can say top 5. And if you click save and submit, now it's going to regenerate a new response. And it's going to title it top 5 heavyweight boxers of all time. So right here is currently going ahead and writing it for me. And I can do equally the same thing with the other one. Now, if you're not satisfied with a specific answer, you can just simply click regenerate response at the end, and it will just go ahead and regenerate the response for you. Now, for troubleshooting, we got an error message right here. You can see that it says only one message at a time. So this is an error message, and how you clear this error message is by simply refreshing the page, okay? Like I'm doing now. Now that I've actually refreshed the page, I can just go back to the prompt. I can click and I can enter the new title or the same title of the blog post, and it can just start writing for me the blog post. Now, just like I said, there are 3,585 prompts, 3,585 prompts that are available in the library of prompts. And some of those prompts are, for example, Midjourney prompt generator. Now, you might be thinking, what Midjourney prompt generator, what good is it for? Well, there is a website that is known as, not Playground, I think Prompt Base. Yeah, Prompt Base. Now, this website is where you can actually go to and sell your prompts. So there is a market for prompts, just so you know. You can come to this website, and on the marketplace, if you click over here, you notice that there are a lot of people who are actually making tons of money selling Midjourney prompts. Now, let's just do something creepy over here. For example, there's this guy who's the best seller. He's the hottest of the hottest. And if I click on him, he's selling his prompt for $2.99. He's already sold 779 copies of that prompt, which means he has made well over $700. Let's say that he's making 50% of the money and Prompt Base is keeping 50% of the money. He still would be making something like $1,000. So he's selling this prompt for $299. He sold this prompt 779 times. And guess what? ChatGPT can actually help you write these prompts. You just have to click on this particular prompt right here, which is what I'm clicking on. And you can ask ChatGPT, what kind of mid-journey prompt do you want to generate? Now, in this case, this guy, he's selling a prompt called RD Creepy Macabre Paintings. I can just copy the name of that prompt and go back over here. Now, to ensure that ChatGPT is going to write the best content for me or the best prompt, I'm going to click on GPT-4 to switch. And I'm going to click back on mid-journey prompt. Now, for some reason, it's still not pointing at it. So I'm going to click on it again. And let me just remove this for once. Click. Okay, so let me just refresh the page. There is a troubleshooting error here because I'm clicking on a prompt and it actually is generating for me a different prompt. So this stuff can happen if it happens with you. Please just don't panic and refresh the page. Choose the version of ChatGPT that you're currently using. For the most part, if you're using the free version of ChatGPT, then you have no choice but to use GPT 3.5. For me to ensure that I get the best results, I'm using GPT-4. And so I'm going to click on that. So I'm going to click over here. And finally now, it's selecting Midjourney Prompt Generator. And I can just go ahead and pasting the prompt that I want to generate using that particular prompt. Now, if I do this, notice what happens. Now it's going to start writing for me the prompt. Now, this prompt, anyone who uses it will be able to generate creepy, macabre paintings. And there's a market for that on prompt base. Now, if I go back, you can find that there is a market for all the craziest things you thought about in your imagination. For example, this guy, he's selling cute poster prompt for $399, already sold 147 times of this, or 147 prompts like this. And there are on and on and on. So you can sell prompts that generate logos. For example, if I search for a prompt that generates logos, there's a huge market for this. And for example, this guy, he's already made a ton of money. So just you look at this, 1,400 sales. And basically what he's doing is he's helping people. He's selling a prompt to people. And once those people take that prompt and they use it on Midjourney, which is the software that I kind of use to generate artistic images. And you're kind of looking here at some of my work that I just recently designed. So right here is some of my previous work, not actually bragging, but I'm just showing you Midjourney, what it's capable of. For example, this image right here, which is that of a tiny, tiny, teensy robot that I have just used recently to create my paperback or my book cover. And notice how beautiful it made my book cover look. And I'm intending to make loads of money from this book, just so you know. I've just recently published it on Amazon Kindle and in paperback format as well. And so here, Midjourney is a software that enables you to generate all kinds of logos and all kinds of stuff that you want, all kinds of images, but you have to prompt it. You have to give it a prompt in this box that you're looking at right here. And one of the ways that you can actually do that is by using ChatGPT to help you generate the prompts. And you can either sell these prompts on prompt base, or you can use them to generate logos and go and basically freelance. Okay. So there's a ton of ways on how you can go about doing business. Now it got carried out so much. Let me go back to ChatGPT here just to kind of show you some other examples of prompts that will be available for you to use if you are using the APRM extension. Now, let's say, for example, that you want to write an ebook in one click. Okay, you're tired of writing a book yourself. You want to write it using artificial intelligence. You can do that by simply clicking over here, write a complete book in one click. Now, all you have to do is to enter the title of your book. Let's say that your title is, this is the title of my book, 59 ChatGPT Hacks. But let's just say this is the title of your book. You can just copy paste that title right here, and it will just start off writing for you the book that you want. These are the chapter titles, and after it finishes writing the chapter titles, it's going to start writing each chapter and so on and so forth. I'm going to click stop generating because it's going to take a while. And so you can see the value in this particular, let's just say, extension. Now over here, you can also use it to generate, let's just say, YouTube video scripts. Let's say you are a YouTuber, but you're taking YouTube scripting for videos takes you a long time. And so you want to use a solution such as ChatGPT to write the script for you without having to do it yourself. You can click on this prompt right here and just enter the topic which you want to talk about. Let's just say, for example, you want to talk about the winner of World War II. Let's say you're a fact channel and you want to write a video about that or a script. Now you just write the topic, and over here you can see that it's currently writing the script for us. Opening shot, dramatic orchestral music playing, narrator, voiceover, stop, and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. It's just crazy what you can do with it. Now feel free to go ahead and explore all of these prompts. It's just wonderful what you can do with it. But now that you have a complete introduction of the APRM extension, over in the next lecture, we're going to move on to a next extension, which is ChatGPT for YouTube. Okay, ChatGPT for YouTube, and it will help you do transcription work. But I'll just show you how you can go ahead and install it. From there, we'll move on to ChatGPT for Gmail, and then we'll move on and get back to the topic, which is how to use ChatGPT to write email sequences. Now that you've got enough of a introduction to what ChatGPT extensions and ChatGPT itself is capable of doing, see you in the next lecture and stay tuned.